spring, baby. Evan and Tiki on this wonderful Tuesday. Big show planned for you today, including evidence that the NFL Network has ripped off our callers to the Evan and Tiki show. Undeniable proof. Toasted and posted, the most popular controversial segment returns today at 3:30. More on the Yankees' injuries and more on the Mets' non-pursuit of J.D. Martinez. But one thing about me, you may hate me, you may like me, I try to learn from my mistakes. That's very important in life, Tiki, to learn from your mistakes.
Well, of course it is.
And I think as I've gotten older and wiser, I have learned from my mistakes. And one of the mistakes I made occurred on September 12th, 2023, when I came on the radio after that Jet-Bills game, and I was giddy and I was excited. And I didn't understand that the bigger picture was we lost Aaron Rodgers. So I want to take my wiseness that I learned from that and help my friends who are New York Knicks fans. Last night, and I sat there with you folks, 99-95, out of a timeout. Jalen's back in the game. Josh Hart hits a big three. Josh Hart makes a play. You go back up by 10. It was a great win last night. That's a great win. And this has been a wonderful West Coast trip. And the Knicks have won 4 in a row, and Jalen Brunson's playing his ass off, and Josh Hart had another triple-double, and Deuce McBride was bowling. But last night sucked for the New York Knicks because the reality is OG Anunoby's hurt again, and we don't know when he's coming back. Julius Randle remains hurt, and we don't know when he's coming back. So, yes, it was a great win last night. But overall, yesterday was a bad day if you're a Knicks fan, T.
I don't think so. Here's why. So Deuce McBride played 47 minutes.
Yes.
47 minutes. Scored 29 points.
Yep.
Josh Hart, again, the entire game. He rolled with it. And by the way, had a triple-double. Right? Josh Hart was as good as Josh Hart has been over the last month, I think, in his entire career. And it's because of necessity. And any team, any Knicks iteration that has Jalen Brunson has a chance. And so the reason I look at this Knicks win and I'm excited about it if I'm a Knicks fan is not because of the I don't know, they won on the road and they're on this road trip and they're winning in spite of it. It's because it feels like as long as you have one of the best playing players in the NBA right now, that you have a chance to win any game. And I know that everybody's hurt. I know that you could, use the OG news and the Julius Randle non-news because they haven't said anything in forever. You can use that as a downer. But I think in spite of the injuries that are facing this Knicks team, they're winning. And you're seeing, I don't know, you're seeing a basketball team that's committed to the principles that this coach has preached forever, and it's showing up offensively, defensively. You're getting some tour de force efforts from guys. Is it sustainable over the long haul? I don't know. But to me, I look at it and I say a Jalen Brunson-led Knicks team can beat almost any team. And it's only going to get better as guys get healthier as they go down the stretch.
Why do we assume guys are going to get healthier? Because they got OG back, and now he's gone again, dude.
Julius Randle, I will concede because I have no idea. Truly I'm clueless about Julius Randle. I kind of understand what the injury is, but we haven't had any updates recently, and he's not scheduled to be reevaluated anytime soon. I have no idea. You thought it should be 4 days ago, that he should at least be, I don't know, flirting with coming back. We haven't heard anything. So Julius Randle, I get. But one of the keys of this Knicks team is OG Anunoby, and it's mostly because of his defensive versatility. Obviously, he can score too, but his defensive versatility. He comes back, he plays a game, he now sits down, and it's indeterminate how long he's going to be out. But shouldn't that be expected? Think about what happened here.
It should be expected.
Hold on. OG had a bone spurs in his elbow, something he's dealt with for many seasons, apparently. And he had surgery. So when you have surgery, they cut open your skin, they go in, they do a procedure, they close it back up, and they hope that it heals. You rest, you do some slow motions to get the thing, back into normal functioning, to push the fluids out, and eventually you're feel good enough, you come back and play. But sometimes when you get surgery, like you cut flesh and you cut, tendons or not tendons, but muscle and things of that nature, you get swelling. So this to me is almost predictable. It would have been surprising if he had come back with zero complications from having a surgery. wasn't like he was just resting. He had a surgery. So I get why there's some negativity about the injuries, but in spite of all of that, they're winning on the road against good teams.
No.
How can you not be excited about that?
I take nothing away from beating Sacramento the other night. That's a great win. I take nothing away from beating Golden State last night. That's a great win. What I'm telling you, the way I feel, is that OG Anunoby, who comes back, plays 3 games, hasn't missed a beat. Now he doesn't play last night. We had the assumption last night of, okay, this is a maintenance day.
Yeah.
And the Knicks are being smart. And then we're told by Adrian Wojnarowski, it's a little bit more than maintenance. He did have an MRI, which showed you there was concern. Now, the MRI's come back clean, but he's going to miss multiple games.
Yes.
If the Knicks came out, if Tom Thibodeau came out and said, look, this is normal, it's swelling, it's a couple of days, we got nothing to worry about, that'd be different.
Okay, but
instead, we don't know how much time he's going to miss. The guy just missed 2 months and he came back.
I understand that, but they don't tell us anything anyway.
So then why should we be okay and confident that everything's going to be all right? Why should we believe that OG Anunoby's walking through that door in a week when he just came back, played 3 games, and now he's out again?
One, because I think OG's a gamer. And so if it comes to push comes to shove, and you're in the postseason now, in a week and a half or 2 weeks, whenever there are 20 games, he'll play. I feel like he's that kind of player. It's not like he's going to risk doing further damage. It's not like the MRI came back, there's some troublesome findings from the surgery that he did a couple of weeks ago, and we should probably shut him down. As long as until we hear that, now that's a risk for Julius Randle. That's not a risk for OG, at least not in my mind. I feel like this is normal consequence of having a surgery and then going to get back into normal basketball activities 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later. That's, to me, it feels normal for OG that this would happen. But in spite of that, that's not even really my point. My point is...
Your point is you don't care because they're winning.
Exactly.
And my point is...
And they're playing great against good teams on the road.
That's fine. That is tremendous. I am not taking away what they did last night or the way they played. No, here's the lesson. Do you think they're going anywhere unless they get healthy? Knicks fans, ask yourself that question. Because you can do 2 things at once. I learned that on the Tuesday after the Aaron Rodgers game against the Buffalo Bills. You have every damn right to be happy if you stayed up until 1 a.m. last night watching the Knicks beat the Warriors. I stayed up till 1 a.m. last night. I was happy too. You want to know why? I bet the Knicks money line. I felt damn good. Okay? You have every right to be excited about the way this team is playing. You have every right to be excited about defensively how tough this team is. You have every right to be excited by the fact that Tom Thibodeau last night, prior to the game, made an adjustment. He said to himself, you know what? I know what happened the last time we played the Golden State Warriors. I know we got off to a bad start. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make an adjustment. Instead of starting Precious Achiuwa, I'm going to start Deuce McBride. I'm going to put another shooter around Jalen Brunson. And guess what happened? Deuce played his ass off. I give Tom Thibodeau oodles of credit.
Of course.
I give the Knicks credit. Let's not get this confused. The Knicks deserve a ton of credit for the way they played with these injuries. But the reality is this. And I may sound like a douche for saying it. I'm being honest. The reality is this. If OG Anunoby is not healthy, if Julius Randle is not healthy, we are 31 days away from the NBA playoffs, a month away. If they are not healthy, they're going nowhere. And so they won last night, but the news on Anunoby was not good.
Okay,
and if you choose to ignore that, fine. I'm just going to tell you the reality.
You might be right, but we're not 30 days from now. We are sustaining and sitting at the 4 seed, a win now above Orlando, right? They're sitting exactly where they need to be in order to drive themselves in the postseason with confidence. And you mentioned something that I think we're not giving him enough credit. Tom Thibodeau is putting new stripes on his skin. Right, he's learning new tricks. He's doing different things. He's playing different lineups. A couple nights ago, he goes small and he stays small, and it worked. Yeah. Right, he's realizing
starting Deuce last night was a brilliant move.
100%.
I give him credit.
So he's doing things that he's never done before, and you know what the result is? Winning.
Yes.
And so if he can become adjustable and read it in real time. Like how can I best position my team to win this specific game and put these guys in positions where they feel empowered and they have a plan that's going to get them and drive them towards success, and then they own it like they did last night, that's a departure from the Tom Thibodeau that we know.
Sure.
And so I think we're discounting coaching with him. I think we're not giving him enough credit for coaching his way through this injury doldrum that they're going through.
Tiki.
And yes, you're right. If they get 30 days from now into the postseason, and Randall's still banged up, and OG is unavailable, and Mitchell Robinson's not even close to playing, and you got to, you just grind yourself to a halt. Fine, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about right now, this Knicks team, despite all of these injuries, is sitting almost exactly where they were a month ago.
They deserve a ton of credit for the way they have survived this.
All I'm saying is that you, as a Knicks fan, you have to be ecstatic for that.
Well, you have to be ecstatic you're winning, but not ecstatic that you got a setback on OG Anunoby last night. That's my point. That's why last night overall was not a good day. Because what you did is you won the battle last night against the Warriors, but you may lose the war.
You still have your principal. You still have your general. You still have Jalen Brunson.
Tiki,
let's be blunt.
Let's be blunt. Can this team go on a run without Anunoby and Randall?
A playoff run?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, well, that's it.
Can they sit for the next 3 weeks and climb and win and develop a confidence and learn different ways to win? Absolutely.
Well, I never said they couldn't. What I'm simply saying is if they don't get healthy, and Knick fans, see, the thing is you know it deep down. You know it. You know the impact OG has made. You know the kind of year Julius Randle was having. You know deep down if this team isn't healthy, and right now I have no understanding of how you'd be confident that in 31 days they will be, but if they're not healthy, they're not going anywhere. That's my point. And that's why on a night like last night, and trust me, I can relate to this. Individual regular season games, man, I live for it. I love that. I want to see my team win. I feel good when my team wins. I felt good that night the Jets beat the Bills. I feel good when I see my basketball team win, which never happens. I respect and understand how last night, especially every time the Warriors made a run, you punched them back in the face. That was a badass win last night. I'm not being sarcastic. I give you all the credit for that last night. Josh Hart played 48 minutes. Deuce McBride scored, 27 points?
29.
29. I'm sorry.
47 minutes.
They were the tougher, better team than a championship caliber team, or old championship caliber team in Golden State. That's a great win. That's a battle. The war is on, and Anunoby needs to be healthy. And when Adrian Wojnarowski pops on TV after we signed off the air to say, yeah, it's not really a maintenance day, he's going to miss multiple games, I'll admit, I don't know what that means. That could mean 2 games. If it's only 2 games, great, have a party. If he's only going to miss a couple of games, fan-freaking-tastic. But do you know that? No. Does anybody know that?
I have no idea about anything.
Does anybody have any idea what the hell is going on with Julius Randle? So at the end of the day, if this team is healthy, yeah, they got a shot. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a basketball team that can't get healthy. And in my opinion, tell me if I'm wrong, if you're not healthy, these are great wins and all, you're going nowhere.
Yeah, I think we're saying the same thing in just different ways. Right?
No, we're not. I'm saying something and you're disagreeing.
I'm not disagreeing because
or you're saying I don't care about it because it's a month from now. Maybe that's where they're
yes, basically.
Okay.
How can I worry about a month from now? I'll deal with a month from now,
Because you got to get healthy.
Of course you do, but there's nothing that this current roster of players who are healthy that are playing through whatever injuries like Heart and et cetera, whatever they're going through, they can't help that Julius Randle's not available. They can't help that OG's not available, but they can help what they show up and present every single night, which are unbelievable efforts in the current situation on the road against good teams, Sacramento and the Golden State Warriors. And yeah, Steph Curry does what Steph Curry does, but nobody else on that team did jack, meaning the Warriors. So that's not, oh, we just outscored you. That's the B player playing with the same principles that the A player does. That tells you something about this team. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm excited about. It's not like there's this massive drop-off when your stars are out, when OG is out, when Julius Randle is out. They're still scoring because Jalen Brunson is amazing, and he's always has been. And you hear, who said this? Draymond Green in the pick and roll. You can't even guard the dude. I mean, that's high praise coming from one of the bulldogs of the NBA. Like, you got to take, this momentum and carry it and drive it, even if you're lying to yourself That's what teams have to do when they're physically compromised. Like
players
the Knicks
can
are.
lie to themselves. I don't think Knicks fans should lie to themselves. Are you worried, Tiki? Are you worried?
No.
You're not worried?
I'm not.
Loogie, are you worried just
I'm
a little bit?
never worried about anything.
Just a tiny... He's not worried about anything.
Evan,
Are you worried?
for the radio audience, what am I wearing right now?
He's wearing a beautiful Knicks
You're
sweatshirt.
damn right I am. I'm not even the least bit worried about this team because it's been next man up. I'm not a doctor. You're not a doctor. I am not going to allow anything to creep into the positivity that we have with this Knicks team because certainly we've lived through a lot of bad Knicks season.
Yes.
And this is a great one. And I'm not going to allow a little seed of doubt to put that in there because we don't definitively know what's going on with Julius or OG Anunoby. So I am going to stay positive, think they're coming back. I expect them to come back, and I expect the Knicks to go on a run and, do a little damage, as some would say around here, Evan.
So what you're trying to say is you're not worried.
I am not worried at all. In fact, I am so pumped up. I ran to work today. That's
He's
how
not
giddy I am.
Worried.
Yeah.
Tiki is not worried.
No.
But Knicks fans, deep down, ask yourself a question. OG Anunoby had a setback, no matter what they call it. You got to be worried.
You know how easy it would be for this team to just fold, and we'd have an excuse for them. Seriously. God, they had so much potential, and then the injuries just kind of got in the way. How many times have we done that with our damn teams in this city? I mean, seriously, every single team.
That's the bar we're using? They haven't folded up and quit?
Yes. Not even, I don't think teams are quitting. I just think they're just not capable.
Yeah.
Right? The Jets weren't capable when Aaron Rodgers got hurt. The Giants weren't capable when everybody got hurt. Right? The Yankees, they weren't capable when Aaron Judge was unavailable and then Giancarlo Stanton was out and then comes back and he's bad. Like, they weren't capable.
Yeah, but Tiki,
What we should celebrate and be, I don't know, enthusiastic and excited about is that the Knicks are capable when their stars are hurt. I mean,
Are they capable
something.
of going on a finals run?
We're not there.
Are they?
We're
No.
30
Are they? But answer that question. Are they capable of doing the damage Loogie talks about and going on a run if they're not healthy? It's a simple question.
I will not say no.
Okay.
Because I didn't think that they were. I thought they were going on this road trip and they were going to be. I don't know.
2-2 is what I thought. They've done better than that.
If they were 1-3, I would have been like, okay, I guess that's all right.
So you think they can go on a run even if they're not healthy?
They're on the road and they're going on a run.
This is not the playoffs, Tiki.
I'm not saying it's the playoffs.
It's a great win. Again, not minimizing that. It is not the playoffs. This is not a best-of-7 series against the Philadelphia 76ers if Joel Embiid walks through that door.
Right.
And they've got their own questions.
Does this game matter for the Golden State Warriors? Yeah, it did.
Yeah, of course.
Probably more so than it did for the Knicks.
No one's denying
and
that.
they still outplayed them.
No one's denying that. My point is this. It's a great win. They have played excellent basketball. OG Anunoby now having a setback is a bad thing because deep down even if you're not going to admit it, they're not going on a run unless they're healthy.
And I'll worry about that when we have to worry about that.
John is in Westbury. Good afternoon, John. Feels like morning. Good afternoon.
How are you guys?
What's up, John?
Tiki, I don't know how you do it. It's it's a win that Golden State needed. The Knicks are on the road on a 4-game trip, and they beat Golden State. And Evan comes on and he says, "It is a bad day to be in."
I know.
Because they lost.
What are you getting at?
No, John. Because they lost OG Anunoby. It's a great win. But if he's not healthy, you're going nowhere. And you know that, right?
You play the games, though. You play the games. This is one of the best coaching jobs in the NBA
I agree.
in the last 15 to 20 years.
Okay, we don't disagree. We don't disagree about that.
Evan, I love you. You take each game as it is. It's the next man up. You've got players now that are playing 20 to 30 more minutes than they're used to, and Tibbs is getting it out of them.
But John, we don't disagree about that. I am giving the Knicks the flowers they deserve, including Tom Thibodeau. When I saw the starting 5 last night, and I saw, oh, wow, Deuce McBride starting, not Precious Achiuwa with OG out, I wondered why. And then I saw the results, and I heard what Coach Thibodeau said after the game, and I'm like, that's some damn good coaching. That's a damn good adjustment by Tom Thibodeau. I give him a ton of credit. I give Deuce a ton of credit. Jalen a ton. No one's minimizing the win. What I'm saying is it was a bad day when you're sitting there and you hear Adrian Wojnarowski, because God forbid the Knicks tell you anything, that OG Anunoby's going to miss multiple days. That's not good. Like when the Jets beat the Bills, I was pumped up they won, and then all of you guys had to remind me, yeah, you lost Aaron Rodgers. You can't win without Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, but we didn't
Well,
lose.
I don't think you can win without OG Anunoby and Julius Randle. That's just me. Maybe I'm nuts.
But we didn't lose Jalen Brunson, and we have Josh Hart playing at an all-time level. I mean, you can't talk about enough how great these guys are, and they're lifting everybody around them. That's meaningful. That means something. And so, in the off chance that OG is not available come the playoffs, and that Julius Randle is not feeling right, and his shoulders all still jacked up, hey, are they going to be the favorite? No. But am I saying they're getting destroyed? They have no chance. No way am I counting them out, despite not having their two of their best players available to them, because everybody else, as our caller just said, they're stepping to the occasion. They're rising to the occasion, and is it dangerous? Of course it is. Should Deuce McBride be playing 47 minutes? I mean, what's his max so far this year? 30-something, 33, 34? He played 47 minutes. He sat down to, I don't know, go to the bathroom and have a cup of coffee. I mean, he had no break, and he thrived. Right? I love that about this Knicks team. It's not like I'm predicting that they're winning the NBA championship, but there's something about, I don't want to say destiny, because it's not that, but they're playing with a level of like confidence and aplomb that's just, it's amazing. And I didn't expect it. I got to tell you, I was pessimistic on this going into this road trip, especially with the injuries not being clear or spelled out for us. But they just keep winning.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. They're having a great West Coast trip. The problem is they need to get healthy. And if they're not healthy, they're not going anywhere come mid-April.
You're a Debbie Downer.
I'm being realistic. See, I hate playing the heel. I don't want to be a heel. I'm just calling it like it is.
No, you're not.
And I blame you guys for this because you taught me the lesson after the Rodgers injury. You guys mocked me after the Jets beat the Bills, and I kept saying, I want to enjoy the win. I want to enjoy the win. I want to enjoy the win. And both of you knuckleheads, all of you, said, how can you enjoy it? You lost Aaron Rodgers. Now, obviously, this isn't the same because there's no closure on Anunoby being out for the season, God forbid. But an injury matters. Injuries matter. If this team isn't healthy, they're not winning. I am not taking anything away from their road trip or how they won last night or anything in that regard, or even the kind of soul of this team. They have played tremendous. It's almost like you guys don't want to hear the reality. It's like, I'm going to ignore that injury part and keep going back to how much fight they've shown. I'm not disagreeing with you about the way the Knicks have played. I'm not disagreeing that it's awesome they're 41-27 and they've won 4 in a row, and now they're closer to the 3 seed than they are the play-in. That's amazing, bro. I have to say it like 100 times to give you insecure fans like a back massage. Yes, they've played great. Yes, the coach has been awesome. They need to be healthy. And last night before the game, I don't know how you guys took it. Maybe it didn't bother you. I saw a bad injury report on OG Anunoby that makes me nervous. Your call's next, 877-337-6666. In about an hour, it's another edition of Toasted and Posted.